Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags, and today I am reviewing the Magic by Fly Cornhole. This is the third set I've done from Fly. I did the Banshee and I did the Strix. Love both those bags. So let's dive in and take a look at the Magic here. Design-wise, so Fly, when they do drops releases, they sell out pretty quickly. So if you go to their website, there's not a lot in stock. They typically put a release or drop out, and it sells out, fairly fast after they do that. There's just a huge demand for their bags. So when they do a release, you don't always have an option on design styles. They will have different colorway options, but not always designs. But I don't have a problem. I mean, the designs they have, when I've seen so far, I think they're great. I have no issues with them. I think I picked this colorway. When I did this, I think they had 3 or 4, maybe 5 different color options to choose from. So I did have some option, but the design was the same. That makes sense. But I don't have a problem with the design. I think they look fine. Their bags are ACL Pro Stamped for 2023 if you play in ACL events. Material-wise on this Magic, slow side is that Viking carpet. It's actually the same slow side material that they use on the Strix. It's a 4-speed material. It's really a wonderful material if you want to play that carpet style game. The dirty boards, the shot shaping, the flops, the cuts, the rolls. This material is awesome for that. So 4-speed on the slow side. Fast side is the game changer, surefire fast side. It's an 8-speed material. It's fast but somewhat controllable. You can slides up in most any board conditions, pushes through most any blocks or congestion there. So you're looking at a 4-8-speed bag. Template wise, this is I'm gonna call it a medium template. It's really right in the middle. It's kind of that sweet spot medium template. It's a medium fill in here, so you've got some flop, but it's not crazy floppy. So kind of that medium fill, medium template here. The fill in here, I think it's a mixed fill. It's got a lot of that kind of that flat fill that a lot of bag companies are going to, but every now and then I'll feel something that's a little different shape. I don't know if that's just an odd or regular shaped disc in there or if there's actually a mix. I can't tell for sure, but I love the hand fill in here in the fill they use. So you've got enough fill, you've got that fluid fill of that disc that gives you a great hand feel to it. This bag really material combination, and it all reminds me a lot, if you remember the Black Sheep OG, not the new OG2, but the original, the OG. It actually had this Viking carpet. The OG2, they switched the carpet material out, went with that combat carpet on there. This reminds me of that OG bag, if you're familiar, that kind of gives you an idea. Now, to compare this, I brought up one of my Strix bags here that I reviewed, which I told you the Strix and the Magic both have the same carpet, but the fast side is different on these. This has that Viking fast side, Pro Advantage fast side material. This is a Game Changer Surefire fast side. The Strix is also a little bit, maybe ever so slightly smaller template, and it's a fuller bag. So if you want a fuller bag with a slower fast side, you go with the Strix. If you want a little looser bag and you like the faster fast side, you would go with the Magic here. I would say for playability on this, the Strix is a little bit bouncier bag. The Magic has some bounce. The Strix has a lot more. The Strix is going to be easier to do the shove, easier to roll. If you're not a roll bag player, but you're wanting to try to roll, the Strix is a better option. However, if you are a roll bag player, you can roll both. Both bags roll, cut very easily. But just know the Strix is a little bit fuller. The Strix does actually have a mixed fill in it. So I don't know if it's the same fill in these. It doesn't feel like it, but it may be. It's hard to tell feeling through the bags. The Strix does have a mixed fill. It is a bouncier bag. I think the bounce comes more from being a little fuller bag than what you get with by having a little looser bag. Looser bags tend to land a little softer, not as much bounce to them. So that's the difference of the two bags if you're interested in them. I think there's enough difference if the playability of play styles are going to be different that it can justify having, a set of each in your bag. But you can also have one set and get away with it. I hope that makes sense. Now, playability on this Magic is definitely a bag that you are playing that carpet style game, that dirty style game with it, right? You can run bags in the hole with it, and on faster boards, it does run better. But if you want to just run bags in the hole, Fly makes better bags for that. You're getting this bag because you want to play a dirty style game. You want to put blockers up there. You want to create congestion on the board. You want to cause your opponents to make mistakes, and then you want to collect it all at the end, right? You're not worried about PPR as much as you are that DPR when you're playing with this Magic, and it does a great job of it. It's a big enough template that the blockers go up there and they take enough real space. They're going to cause an issue for your opponent. And it's a sticky enough material that if your opponent's not used to pushing through and collecting bags like this, they will kick off, right? They'll kick off because it does offer enough resistance. However, with the fast side on this, it's a fast enough to definitely for you to collect, and the bags are full enough that you can just clip a corner and take it in. You don't have to, sometimes you get those smaller, those looser, those floppier bags, and you've got to be, come more into it. This bag, you can clip the corner and take it in, so you can be a little more aggressive putting that blocker over on your opponent's side, not have you keep it in the middle on your side, and still be confident you can collect it. Again, the fast side's fast enough to push through. If you got more than one bag there, you can still flip it over, and you can take more than you can take, 2 or 3 bags in if you have to with this bag. So it does give you the confidence to put those blockers up there, knowing that you can come through with your last bag and collect what you need to score points in that round. The other thing, like I mentioned, is this bag. You can definitely roll this bag. You can flop this bag. I was cutting it with ease. This material is wonderful for that. I didn't roll or flop it because, again, I've mentioned it's really not my game. But it's definitely a bag that's rollable, floppable, if that's what you do. And it's not a hard bag to roll. So if you are an average roll bag player, you'll have no problem rolling this. If you're trying to learn to roll, I would recommend the Strix. I think that's an easier bag to roll than this. But I'm kind of nitpicking there on the two. But yeah, playability, dirty style game. You can see here. I mean, I did well throwing it, but honestly, this bag shines in competition when you're playing against your opponent, right? Because again, it's not really a PPR bag; it's a DPR bag, and so it does well for causing your opponents to make mistakes. And that's where I loved this bag even more, was when I started playing against people with it, where I could put those blockers out. And with this material, you can put a blocker wherever you want. Now, one of the knocks on the bag, and it's not really the bag as much as the material, is this carpet material. It's a carpet, right? It's going to stick. It's designed to stick, so it does hang up on the hole. And I don't know of a really good 4-speed material that you can control like this that doesn't hang up on the board, right? That's kind of the nature. As you gain more control, you're gonna lose a little bit of that hole friendliness, so to speak. And so it's gonna hang on the hole. However, when it does hang on the hole, especially on the sides, it's very easy to collect. You don't have to get crazy aggressive. You can throw your next bag in. Just clipping it is going to take it in. You don't have to come after it with the cut shot. You can usually just kind of hit it and drag it in. If the bag's hanging on the back, that's when you get in trouble there, because you're going to have to be more aggressive. On the back, just the vibration of the board is not going to be enough to move this bag in. You've got to come in probably with an airmail drag if you want to actually collect that bag. So just be aware. But again, that's not a knock on the bag as much as that's just when you transition to these slower materials, that's something that you're going to have to deal with. But I think what you gain in the controllability and the ability to shape shots and throw blockers where you want outweighs what little bit you're going to lose. You're going to gain more points on that, on being able to cut around, to flop, to roll, to throw blockers, than what you're going to lose on the bags hanging. That I think it's a fair trade-off. And again, any of you who play this material, you know that happens. Now, availability on this bag. Fly has a website, flycornhole.com. I hope that's right. I'll double check and make sure it's not. I'll correct that. But I think it's flycornhole.com. And they do their releases, drops. When they, like I said, I mentioned before, when they do release them, they sell out pretty quickly. So if you go on there right now, I don't know if there's anything in stock. I think it's already out of stock at the point of this. But go ahead and follow. You want to follow their social media accounts. They have a Facebook page. I'll put a link as well. They're going to announce on social media when they have they always announce it usually a few days in advance and let you know, hey, at whatever time we're doing a drop of this bag, and they'll show you what it is typically. So you have a heads up. If they do that, you want to make sure you're on their page at that moment, because they don't usually last very long. When they do drops, they usually sell it in minutes or so. So just make sure you're following social media. If you're looking to get a set of bags, follow their social media accounts so you have a heads up when they do their releases. The Magic, this set I picked up was $85 a set when I picked them up, which is for an ACL stamp bag. That's really on the lower end, very reasonable. I think they're well worth it. You do have to pay shipping on top of that, but still, I think it's a great deal. I love the Magic. If you're a carpetbag player, if you like playing a dirty style game, or if you want to start playing a dirty style game, the Magic is a wonderful bag for doing that. I had a blast throwing it. I think you will too, guys. So thank you so much for support, and thank you for watching.